not rehearsed.
It is funny. We do these things that are like, kind of cliches or catchphrases or whatever, and they start off as kind of like silly.
They're very like, we know exactly
what we're doing, and that one was not that. It was never that.
It was not that.
It just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Spontaneous.
Look at that.
Which is made even more funny by the fact that we started doing the show together without ever having met.
Yeah, over
Which
like
is an
it's
insane
the
thing.
equivalent of like we started doing this together, like we met on Zoom. Like,
Or
hey,
no, let's
I guess it's
let's wind the clock way back.
Yes.
It's as if we became like superstar newspaper columnists by pen pal.
There you go.
Because that's the thing. I had never met you. I only had ever heard your record.
Right.
And then I was like, you should, do an interview. And we did the interview.
Did an interview.
And then I was like, hey, this guy's pretty funny.
Here I am.
Do some radio.
Yeah,
That's how we ended up with our guest tonight, too.
This is
sort of roundabout way.
This is how it happens. And shout out to DJ RBI for making it all possible.
Man.
He's the 3A. I get it.
By the way, killing it right now.
Yeah, right? Right. Every time. Any Instagram post I ever see.
Getting cut from WPFW would be so amazing. He still has his other show.
Yes.
Okay. RBI is absolutely killing it.
Yeah, right. Anytime I look up, it's
Guy's amazing. He's got a full museum.
Yes.
Do you have a museum?
Not at all.
No. We can talk to Terrence. He can hook us up.
Nope.
No. Sorry.
Okay. There you go. Well, there it is. It's been said.
Yeah, we can.
No, of course.
All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. Before we get started, we do have some actual announcements regarding the network and the Rippies and all of that kind of stuff.
Our fake award show.
That's right. Our fake award show for our fake radio network. So the Rippies is coming up. It's December 17th. Now, the venue has been announced.
It has been.
It is the Potomac Curling Club. Thanks to me, because I can get us into the curling club.
Oh, that's where it is.
It is at the Potomac Curling Club. So we are going to be in the warm room of the curling club. We're not going to be out on the ice.
Okay.
We're not throwing rocks. But you'll be able to see the ice. And if you're nice, I'll let you go out there and touch it.
Where is this?
It's in Laurel.
Okay. This place has had 5 different locations, I feel like, since we announced.
We are now settled. Paperwork signed. Everything is good.
In its actual place instead of like Buffalo that have to go to.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, Buffalo plays.
Well, we don't know if there'll be a nor'easter that happens that.
Well, we're already in the curling club. We couldn't be more perfect.
That's true.
So, all right. So the Rippies is going to happen December 17th. It's going to be at the Potomac Curling Club. There are very limited tickets. They're not available yet, but they will be tomorrow.
All the tickets went to the friggin' network, folks.
Pretty much. That's the case. So there's guest passes.
I can.
So if you want
can imagine
to
how
come
many
to the
guest
Rippies,
passes
you
Trump
need to butter up your favorite radio hosts, namely us, and see if we'll slip you a ticket. While you're thinking about buttering up hosts, you should be going to Rippies. That's RIPPYS 2022 and voting for this guy right here, Tez.
Yes.
For Male Personality of the Year. You can also vote for ChipChat for Show of the Year.
Please do.
But I highly advise against that. It's the last thing I need is.
I was going to say, going to look, I'll accept the award for that one.
Yeah. If it's at my own curling club and the award show I'm producing and I win, somebody's going to argue about that.
You know what they might say? That
I know Kyrie would say it.
Well, the heat's turning up in the kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the kitchen, check it out. We've got caterers coming. There's going to be food available for purchase at the event. It's going to be so cool. They're going to have show-themed dishes.
Oh, wow.
So you can get ChipChat and salsa. Just saying.
I shouldn't have gave that a bell. I'll give that a bell.
I'm kind of after hearing that.
I'll give him that a bell. I don't know.
So we're gonna have some. If you have that, then what about some real talk?
uncensored corn on the cob or something.
Well, yeah, no, I figured out it was. I was texting with Dada from Gunline, and we were coming up with menu ideas because it's her friends who are catering.
Ah, okay.
And so I came up with Real Talk, Real Cheese Dip.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like that fits them.
Yes.
Yes.
Real cheesy.
Real cheesy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect for the white man. Oh, yeah.
Yes. That's right.
Oh God.
Well, we'd like to start a beef with them, but they're too cheesy. Come on. Nothing?
Wouldn't that mean we go
Give me a
together?
bell?
I don't know. This is went
Nothing?
to shit in 6 minutes.
This is terrible.
I gave you the bell for the
We're
first one.
DJing to ourselves
Yes.
in an extremely expeditious way. The other thing to note is
I just saw this last
this
one.
is a BYOB event. So if you are on the network and you are coming to the Rippies, please bring your beverage of choice. If you want to drink it or share it or whatever you want to do. But also, we have a need for equipment. I should say. Okay. So Rip Radio, we got to make some improvements in the studio, upgrade a few things here and there. So we have an equipment fund that you can donate to. And if you donate, every $5 you donate to the Rip Radio Equipment Fund, you'll get a beer. Because that's how charity works, right?
Yeah.
You give money to the radio station, you get a tote bag.
Yep. Here
Right?
you get a
give
beer.
money to our radio station, you get beer. Much better than a tote bag.
Much better than a fucking tote bag.
NPR
And I love
could
tote
be
bags.
making so much money. Yeah, I know. But
How many can you have?
how many can I use?
Yeah.
Like I literally used them at Total Wine today to just instead of using their shopping cart just to get to use one of my tote bags.
It gets to that point.
Yeah. So, Speaking of Nina Totenbag, which you should definitely get, the NPR has a Nina Totenberg tote bag with her face printed all over it. She had this interesting dust up with the Federalist Society this week. Did you see that?
Oh my! Where they were saying, "Hey, don't first of all, Leo Leonard and those guys, and they're a wild group.
They are off on their own.
They're just in a different but also too, and people hate me for saying this. They were really nasty. They were really laser focused and skilled in fuckery.
They're
and
good at it.
They're good at what I just wish
They're so
someone
good
on
at it that
someone on our side might focus on the courts that way.
Do you understand that? Like, this is because we invented Brookings.
Yeah.
We invented the idea of a think tank, and they're
And
like,
they took it. They said, "Oh,
and they're bad at it. They have Enterprise
CNN,
and all that.
and then what happens? Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened is the co-founder of the Federalist Society disagreed with a couple of the positions that were anti-democracy of the Federalist Society, specifically
because of the Federalist Society.
Yeah.
So they should kind of believe in some democracy. Not a lot, but
You
just
would
some,
think. And
just a little bit.
And
They're
the things
Federalist
that he
papers.
the thing that he was arguing about was like, whether the state legislatures could subsume their own Supreme Courts or whatever. And they were like, they took a vote and they're like, you can never identify yourself as the co-founder of this organization ever again. And so Nina Totenberg interviews Calabrese and she goes, what's this thing about I can't call you the co-founder? He's like, that's their position. She's like, well, that's factually inaccurate.
Yeah,
you are the
co-founder
co-founder
of
of this organization. That's censorship and I'm not going to do it. And he's like, you do what you want. That was essentially the transcript. Good honor. That's good journalism.
It is. Need more of that.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, way tangent.
I was going to say.
This is a special week.
This is a special week.
Yep. Every week's a special week. But this
We
week,
say every week.
it's our last show before Thanksgiving.
That great holiday.
Okay. Thanksgiving's a mixed. Okay.
It means one thing.
It's not great with the colonizing and all that stuff, but the idea of giving thanks for the year
This is how we spin it. Yes.
that's
yes.
okay with me.
Yes. We spin it that way.
That's how I celebrate it. I don't know what you are doing.
To look.
Your Thanksgiving.
Funny enough, years ago, especially in more of my
What's
rebel
Cuban Thanksgiving
Cuban,
like?
it's not fucking a real thing at all. It's like Italian
Thank
Thanksgiving.
God for the Soviets.
Look.
The godless Soviets.
Look, proletariat unite. No. What did I hear the other day? I am an aspiring anti-capitalist.
Aspiring.
No. Heavy on the aspiring, friends. Heavy on the aspiring.
We like money.
Right. You
Send
don't
us
say
money.
that. Look, be quiet.
We're going to talk about money. I can't say it.
You can't say that.
Take it easy. Show's getting rough.
But I'm just saying, like, again, for Thanksgiving for years, I actually used in my rebel state would be like, fuck this holiday. I wouldn't hang out with my family or anything. And I would used to go make music. Okay. That used to be years ago.
Y'all, and I'm black, y'all.
Yeah, hey.
And I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all.
Black. Hold the Israelite. Just black.
Whoa.
Hold that, all right? Because that shit don't make no sense, okay? You can say, I said that. It's all right.
That's okay.
It's all right.
I think we're both on either side of that one. That's pretty good. Hey, Tucker, you see this? This is the thing you're very worried about.
Again, what broke
Georgia.
what broke this country on January 6th? Again,
It's us.
Warnock.
It's Georgia.
Yeah, Warnock and Ossoff.
I'll take it.
Anyways, but yeah, that was how I used. But now I partake in the festivities, but I never lose sight.
No, we're
of the
not celebrating the
foolishness. No.
absolute routing of Native people on this continent.
Yeah.
No. What I'm doing is
Football.
cooking my turkey on Sunday because it thawed faster than I expected, which is fine. It'll save me some
Let the
time.
flavors and whatnot. They'll let the flavors start to soak in.
Nah, I got it all figured. I mean, come on, who are you talking to, right? And then and then football.
Yeah,
that's absolutely what we're gonna do.
Oh my God! And then your commies. Speaking of football,
hey, knocked off formerly undefeated.
And then it was so bad.
I thought you don't watch.
I hear. I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch that game. I didn't watch that game, but I saw the alert.
You listened to it on the radio.
I didn't listen to it on the radio either. I saw the alert. I didn't
Julie
see
Donaldson
didn't see any part of it. What
London
I did
Fletcher.
also see though is that it forced the Eagles to go pick up Brutality himself.
Yes,
and Ndamukong
Suh.
Oh my God. I remember that name.
It's funny.
He stomps on people.
He does stomp on people, and Michigan beat the shit out of Nebraska last week.
Oh, God,
so I bet he's loving that.
Go Blue. Careful. I don't want him
do it.
I don't want him to shut.
Go Blue.
Okay, anyway, we're almost through the intro.
Yes. Almost. This is the longest one ever, 15 minutes.
I foolishly asked Dave to help.
I told you not. Look.
That was a mistake.
I was always like, I hear, I don't think, yeah, he could do it, but that's not what he's going to do.
I was hoping to borrow a Fox News phrase that he was, quote, one of the good ones. They love that one over there.
That is yes. Fox
That's
News
my
is
favorite one.
Yeah, Herschel Walker.
Right?
It's usually when it pops up.
But no, Elon's failed tantrum is costing real money to real people.
That's it.
That's a crazy story, but that's not even the craziest story.
It's not.
The fake money story is a crazy story.
I think that is one of the biggest.
I can't wait to talk about this because I've been on this for like a decade.
And then when I was just on Twitter and someone's like, it got hacked, I said, you guys are lying. You guys are lying. And I went to look into it and I was like, oh, they're doing real reporting on this. Wait,
I got a lot to explain about this. This whole thing is fucking nuts. Okay. On to the actual point of the show.
Yes.
Musical genius Drew Kidd is with us tonight.
Yes, he is here. He's here.
We're going to learn what's really going on down in Mar-a-Lago. And what smells fishy, Brian? What are we smelling here?
Again, this is our smell the candle where it's from.
We have a madcap white producer who brought another candle for us to figure out where it came from. It's what the script says.
Yes, that's what the script says. But
Yankee candles.
You want a clue? You want your first clue?
Yes.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
get a clue.
All right. During the break, let me tell you a story about Yankees.
Yes, the damn Yankees.
Right.
Yeah, Aaron Judge's MVP.
No,
We'll
not
keep-
those.
not those ones.
That's not a thing. All right, go on.
All right, so anyway, first is the ingredients, and then later in the show, I'll give you a theme
Yes.
of what it is, and then at the end of the show, you can rip it out and figure it out. All right, here are the ingredients. Sage, fresh grass, clove, honeysuckle, nutmeg, brick, amber, baked donuts, and sycamore bark.
Oh, it's the Kyrie.
No, it's Connecticut.
He
It said nutmeg. It's Connecticut.
said sage.
Yeah,
He said brick. He hasn't been able to play. No, he doesn't really brick that much, but you know.
he doesn't get to play.
Yeah, it's true. Well, he's coming back. Coming back.
No, it's, nutmeg is a.
But he does
Connecticut.
do that. Nutmeg. He
That's a soccer
That's
joke.
a soccer joke. Yeah, I guess you could do that technically in basketball.
Also, did you hear the thing about Sepp Blatter, ratting out that he wanted the U.S. to win the bid, but that he got everybody else at FIFA got bribed to give it to Qatar?
Yeah. Come on.
I mean,
dude.
who didn't know
Who
that?
didn't know
But
that?
he's on tape saying
Play
it.
that when the
BBC had it this morning.
the FIFA president when he won was that's the sound.
There is no organization in human history more corrupt than FIFA.
Nah,
None.
they're high level.
The
man.
IOC.
Yeah, you would
Putin-
think that might rival it, but it's not there.
No, Putin himself is more above board than FIFA. That's outrageous.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch. I'm gonna watch. You're gonna watch.
Yeah.
We're in the same group.
Yeah.
We have to.
Well, I don't know
How are you gonna handle that?
And you're playing. And we're playing
Yeah, who are you?
Friday.
I don't.
Who are you
I don't
rooting
have
for here?
I root for the game now.
Rooting
One of
for
those-
Wales.
I'm
He's rooting for
guys
Wales
now.
So full of
I
shit.
root for them now. You know. Now I will say
All
that
right,
the
say it-
English
say
do
it
have
in-
the most Jamaicans.
say it
And
in-
but no. My friends always
Say it
get
in a
on me.
North London accent.
No, everybody gets on me because I'm always like 3-line this, 3-line that, and everybody's like obviously around the world. Fuck England. I'm with it. Fuck England.
Yeah, but also
they feel the most Jamaicans.
Jordy Pickford.
Pick Frog Splash.
Hey,
My man Frog Splash.
I will make,
Ramsdale's the backup
sorry,
over there.
Okay, when we get to your touchdown
Lewin.
takes, that's
We keep
what
skipping the touchdown days. I've missed 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We don't know this is gone. It doesn't matter. It's a
doesn't
stupid
matter.
thing anyway.
Yes,
He
but
stupidly-
one of your touchdown takes, I want you to pick between England and U.S. for Friday.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's easy. I'll pick it right now. England.
I don't know how I feel about that.
We'll
On
find
the
out.
one hand, I think he's probably right. On the other hand, I'm like, "Argh." I can't really.
Bukayo Saka. That's all I gotta say, friends. All right.
Not just him.
That's not just him, but that's where we're gonna go with it. Wonder Kid.
Okay. Do I watch MLS? No. Everton. Literally, my keeper is England's keeper.
There you go. Thank
Okay.
you. Exactly. Where's your alliance?
What flag is flying out in front of my house? It's not a U.S. flag. It's the Everton flag.
Ugh. Where? Look.
Where's Everton?
We're not relegated yet.
No.
It's early.
17. Me? Okay. Shut up.
Top of the league.
Whatever. Not after the break, you won't be.
Oh, everybody likes to say that.
You got a word?
Come on, you Gunners.
Do you have a word?
Yes.
All right. We are so far over.
Yeah, this is the worst one ever.
gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. Gotta speed through this.
I don't know if I have a word.
I got a
no,
word.
I've got a word. All right. So sit back, grab some.
Patriotism.
It's 420 time. You're listening to the best show, the only show, Chip Chat on RIP Radio Network.
Sweet. Can't believe you drank that hot.
All right, welcome back to Chip Chat here on RIP Radio Network. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's popping up?
All right, so now we've come to the part of the show that I didn't give it really a name, but it's election results, which we're still sorting through.
Still sorting through.
Okay,
But
so
we know the big shit.
on the right, they're all saying like, "Well, it's election day, not election month." And it's like, well,
Oh God.
what's the thing that you hate? Voting? Is that voting? That is what they hate. They hate voting.
They hate voting.
Okay, speaking of which, Arizona, the great state of Arizona.
Right.
Not off the list yet, though. I'm still don't buy things from Arizona because they haven't repealed SB 1070, even though they got nixed in court. They can't enforce SB 1070. They have to wanna.
And that's the
That's the show me your papers.
And didn't that other crazy police chief or something come out of there? what's his name? Piro or was he out of Arizona?
That was Arpaio.
Arpaio.
Yeah,
that was
he got convicted and then Trump
pardoned him. He was one of So exactly. Arizona. And we see you. Arizona's like Virginia was like 15 years ago.
Well, SB 1070 is modeled after what Corey Stewart did here in Prince William County in Virginia. So he
did not know that. Wow.
Which is why Prince William County was on the list until they voted Corey Stewart the fuck out of Prince William County. And now it's a majority-minority county.
We like those.
Big fan. Okay. Anyway, Dateline, Arizona.
News.
Yeah, news. Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs has won the governor's race against Carrie Lake, who is, as far as I can tell, I don't even know what to say about her. But now... Okay, at the time this was printed, this was a straight-ahead news story. Hobbs won, Lake lost, it's over. It's not over. Apparently, Carrie Lake is starting an insurrection. She is trying to fight this, and she's enlisted various militants.
This is for real?
Like, that was today that came out, yeah. So the race was called, I think, on...
A couple days ago,
yeah, maybe Tuesday night.
Yeah.
This is a statewide sweep for the Democrats, right?
Mark Kelly gets it.
Won. Fincham lost for the Secretary of State. So it's all done, statewide stuff. And I think all of the other county or House races shook out exactly as already was predicted. So there was no like sneaky shit going on. There's no confusion there, right?
But we gotta create the perception of some
So
sneaky
that's
shit.
exactly what she's doing, and she's looking for a problem. Interestingly, this happens right as Black Twitter and Black TikTok have decided that maybe she's passing.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you've seen this.
I have not seen this.
You might want to check that. Can you explain passing for the white audience?
Well, the passing would be someone of lacking, the
one
more
drop rule.
or more melanin than others, and being able to Miranda through society as a white person,
It's the opposite Dolezal.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, because God gracious, Jesus Christ, forgot that happened. But yeah, exactly. I think there's even a show around this called Passing. If I don't watch much TV, but I hear this one. It's a movie, huh?
All right. In other news, right near Arizona, the great state of Nevada, which is not Nevada, it's Nevada. That's how they say it there. Make sure you get that right. What's her name?
Masto.
Cortez
Excuse me.
Masto.
Cortez. I remember Cortez part.
You know the Cortez part. Your cousin. It's a name that was
Masto, a little close to Master. Don't forget it. No, I'm just
or Mastodon.
Or Mastodon. Hey, check it out. Hey, Newsy.mastodon. Not a bad server I'm on.
I don't know how that works still.
And Applebaum is on it.
All right, well, then I know you and her are best friends.
I know, I love her.
All right, so anyway, Cortez Masto won, which secures the Senate for the Democrats, which means that we need really, 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 really to focus on Georgia. We've got to win in Georgia because we need one
extra
spare
to balance
Manchin is not a Democrat.
I was going to say we could use, instead of funneling the $1 billion that's going to go into the Georgia runoff into an election, we could just funnel it into climate change. Him off.
No. Just go home.
No.
I don't know.
No, the Republicans are going home regardless in Georgia. They're not coming out after that. Right. I guarantee you that. Why would they? Why? What? They already don't support Herschel Walker in their heart of hearts, right? Yeah,
he's one of the good ones.
One of the good ones, but
heavy air quotes on the.
It's good, but as soon as he loses, it's gonna be like one.
We should have never run the black guy.
That's Bukayo Saka missed that when he missed that
the PK.
Yeah, all of a sudden England went to.
He wasn't the great hope of England
at all. It was like the blacks again. And,
wasn't just Saka though.
No, it wasn't true. It was I forgot who else.
All of the PKs were missed by black guys,
and England lost that. Well, they didn't lose their mind. They returned their mind back to their normal mind.
They became
how they just started all this.
And then none of them blamed Pickford for letting one or two of them through.
One.
I mean,
but
I didn't blame Pickford.
This is, of course, not. It's your goalie.
I can't.
But again, this is what will happen to Herschel Walker. Trump will.
Saka's a phenom, by the way.
Yeah, Barcelona's gonna. Barcelona's gonna come.
You don't,
they don't have any money anymore.
To keep him.
No, they're bankrupt.
You don't have money
if
to
the
keep
tax dollars.
City's coming for him.
Someone will
or
come.
Newcastle now with all their Saudi money.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Newcastle's sitting third in the league right now after being just promoted. Hey, it's not Leicester, but it could be.
Could be.
Never know.
Never know.
All right.
We'll see. No, it will not be. Excuse me. First of all, we're going to crush on Boxing Day. We'll show you how we're true top of the league. What happens? Again, this is Arsenal's now.
Nobody cares about your Boxing Day match.
This is it. Okay, sorry.
Our producer Brian does not.
He's waved this off. This has gotten really out of hand.
EPL
This is because you had the hop slam before we started.
No.
We got here too early.
All right, next is Bobert's race still has not been called. Actually, it just swung back the other direction. So she was further ahead, and now more counties have reported. And last I saw, we're within a few hundred votes.
Wow.
Now, the House is...
She should win that.
She should have won this by 1,000
votes.
Couple thousand.
Votes.
The House has been won.
Yeah, it's over.
The Republicans have got it, but...
Can't wait to watch you guys tear yourself apart.
Her getting kicked out would be hilarious. McCarthy does not have enough votes currently to get his speakership. And, Nancy, or as I call her, Nancy, has decided to, step down from leadership and just be a backbencher for her last run. I assume her last run.
I know folks dislike this woman. I get it. A lot of people have issues with her.
They're wrong.
Yeah. Well, I could see where people could have issues with her. But when it comes down to
she's
politicians,
the first woman speaker.
Yes.
She's the only speaker in modern history to reclaim the House.
That's the one for me.
People just
that doesn't happen.
Act like that's not.
That doesn't happen.
It has literally never happened.
That doesn't happen. Doesn't happen.
Not since the Civil War.
I admire her as just being someone who's good at their craft, right? And their craft being a politician. People hate politicians, but I'm like, all right, this is the game we're inside.
She's doing the right thing.
Yeah. So, but getting votes and her whole thing around we're not bringing anything to the House floor unless we have the votes is just sound politics. It's just.
Boehner did it too.
Boehner did it as well too. But that is how because
it's literally the Hastert rule, but in backwards.
There's no reason to even move in that chamber unless you're able to bring legislation that you can pass.
That's right.
For not passing legislation, and she's passed some big ones.
Obamacare,
yeah, that biggest one.
Come on, it's not. And the infrastructure law and the IRA, as they're calling it now, the giveaway
Manchin coal law,
whatever.
Hey, look,
it got a bunch of good stuff in it too.
But now he's got to make sure that
Pelosi
they don't.
She knows how to do it.
She does.
All right, and who's the successor? Right?
Yeah,
it's future Speaker Hakeem Jeffries.
We're very excited for that one.
I cannot wait. Can you imagine the apoplectic reaction on Fox News to Speaker of the House Hakeem?
They're bringing them. First of all, the monkeys and bananas are coming back. The monkeys and bananas are coming back, friends.
They're gonna find out his middle name. It's like Scott or something, and they're gonna make it into some Arab name or whatever. Make sure
they're ready to go.
100%. All right, Maddie Cawthorn showed up at Trump's announcement. By the way, it's good to know that Mar-a-Lago's ADA compliant.
Yeah.
He's moving to Florida.
Everyone is.
Well, he's moving to Florida so he can try to run for something. My guess is he's not running anywhere.
Stop.
What? Madison Cawthorn is not running for anything. He might be standing for oh, no. Sorry. I was trying to do it British for you, but, it turns out that doesn't work either. What? I was just rolling it over to him.
He's bad. He just doesn't. It's just not. It's offensive.
The joke has legs. Madison Cawthorn does not.
He has legs.
They work about as well as the joke. All right. The last thing on the list is that that guy Rick Scott, who was in charge of helping Republicans win in the Senate, challenged Cocaine Mitch for the Senate leadership. He lost, just like he lost the Senate. This is ridiculous. And Mitch was like, that's fine. You can challenge me all you
So
want.
what do you do?
You know what it reminded me of is my favorite scene in Butch Cassidy, where they've come back to the hideout with the hole in the wall gang, and Harvey is like, I'm going to challenge you, for leadership of the gang. And Butch is like, you want to challenge me? And he's like, you said anybody could challenge you, Butch. And he's like, okay, I didn't think anybody would do it, but all right. And then he goes, guns or knives? And Butch goes, I don't want to shoot with you, Harvey. And so he pulls out this giant knife and he goes like, all right, knives it is. And then Butch goes off to the side and he chats with Sundance, and it's a lot of funny stuff. And then he comes over and he goes, all right, if we're going to have a knife fight, let's get the rules straight. And Harvey goes, rules in a knife fight? And Butch kicks him in the nuts. And then he goes, all right, if there's not going to be any rules, somebody count 1, 2, 3, go. And Sundance goes, 1, 2, 3, go. And he knocks Harvey out. That's what Mitch did.
Yeah, first of all, you're not beating Mitch McConnell.
No.
You're not beating him. And, it'll be...
Mitch McConnell.
Born on the cob.
I'm ready! I don't know. I had to add that at the end of that. I just might have lost my full train of thought on that one.
You're not beating Mitch McConnell.
You're not beating Mitch McConnell. I'm very interested to watch how you don't govern. And that's what it comes down to.
Well, the House is ungovernable. I mean, look, McCarthy's not going to get his speakership at all.
You don't think so?
No, because Gates is already... The margin's so razor thin that it could come down to 2 people.
Right.
And Gates is already pitching a fit.
Yeah,
and he's not going to do it. He doesn't want to vote for McCarthy because he's been in Congress too long for his tastes.
Oh, God.
16 years.
Jesus.
So, what?
Anyways, keep it moving.
Okay. And, the other problem is that this is the same reason Boehner is retired.
Yeah.
These people are ungovernable. They don't want to do anything. All they want to do is cause chaos and disruption. So, fine.
And again, I mean, these last 2 years, I think, will go down in history.
Gonna crash the debt ceiling and all that other shit.
That's going to be a bad... Yeah, look here. I get upset when you start messing around with credit, okay? Because I know what the fuck, how the rest of this shit moves
Wait
around
till
in
we
this world.
start talking about crypto.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Don't butcher our credit as a nation. Again, it's not your bank account, friends. This is a government. It's a federal government. That
Also, stop lying about how the debt ceiling works.
Yes, this is some
not
crazy...
this is money you've already spent.
It's in
Fucking morons.
And the fact that we've weaponized this is... We need to get rid of this.
We need to get rid of this.
Forget the filibuster. We can work on that. This one needs to go.
Yeah,
I don't know why everyone wants to fuck up the economy.
It should... this is some leftover legacy again of the Jim Crow South.
Yeah.
Why are we having this? Well, because we don't want to give welfare to the poor blacks. I mean, this is literally what the debt ceiling comes from. If there's ever a question of why is something, the answer is racism.
Yeah,
that's almost
whenever
always
they say
the answer.
whenever they want to say when they say, hey, we want to decentralize this and give it back to the states. Racism.
That's right.
This is whatever it's because why would
we want to do that?
I
know. Racism.
Because you want that little good old racist clerk in whatever county you're in friggin' Kentucky, Mississippi, and all these places there. Yes, racism.
Yeah, that's the answer. All right. And all of the other isms.
Yes,
that kind of go. All right, you want to take a break?
Let's take a break.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do the rundown. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about in the news and fake news and all kinds of stuff.
Fake news, fake money, fake presidents.
You're going to have a great time. You're listening to ChipChat on Rip Radio Network.
Sweeps.
ChipChat here on Rip Radio Network. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's popping out?
Who is that, Tez?
That is Drew Kid.
That's our guest tonight.
That's our guest tonight.
That wasn't him playing the steel drums, though.
It was not.
It was a friend of his, I guess.
That's what we were told, right? And I would assume this is off the Loop Evolves. Yes, which is coming out soon.
We're getting a nod.
We're getting, yeah, exactly. If y'all mind, fuck, we're on radio.
You're
yes,
on
you
radio.
can. Yes.
It's a radio show.
Yeah. I'm usually good at that.
Radio network.
Yeah.
All right. Here,
I'm ripped.
This is for
No,
you.
I'm not ripped. Yeah. Oh, yes.
You
of
ready?
course, yes.
Now we've come to the part of the show called The Rundown. This is where we're going to tell you about some stuff that's going on in the news.
I love it. It makes me laugh every time.
I only do it for you at this point.
It's like when I watch like Sacha Baron Cohen, like on that, what's the name? This Is America or whatever.
Right.
It's like when that congressman comes out and starts yelling the N-word. He's like, no, the word is Nusi. And I just start dying of laughter. So, anyways, I don't want to derail.
All
Let's
right.
continue.
The first thing in the rundown is a few weeks ago, I asked that Dave Chappelle help. And he did not.
I try to tell you, if it's not.
He did not help. My theory was Dave is a comic. He is good friends with many Jewish people.
As he told us.
As he told us. Notably delivered the Kennedy Center Award, the Mark Twain Award, to Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, if there's anybody who could fix this weird problem that shouldn't exist and is the entire creation of the white supremacists, by the way, it would be Dave.
You did it. And I looked and I was like,
And he had this opportunity. He could have got out there on SNL and he could have said, look, there isn't the divide here. The white supremacists want there to be a divide here. We're not going to do that. It is true that this country is more comfortable with certain kinds of oppression than others. There's gradations of that. All of it's bad. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. Nobody says, like the Republicans go like, oh, well, why are we so worried about Ukraine? Why don't we focus on the border? It's like, there's like different agencies that do that, right? Like they can do both things at the same time.
Also, too, we're not fighting in Ukraine.
They're not.
Go blue.
So, like, there was this opportunity, and he didn't swing and miss. He refused to take the at-bat.
And again, when you initially said that, I was always skeptical because, number one,
because you knew that he also harbored these beliefs.
Not even the beliefs, more so that he's an absolutist on the idea of speech, right? And I have my thoughts around that, and I'll get to that as the second part. But what we have ordained him as like the great orator of our time, which he has the ability to do, and that's fine. But he's a comic. And at times, comics are able to, again, like he so skillfully did around Emmett Till on one of his first Netflix specials, and just, again, bringing that joke around. And as I was leaving the theater and watching him, I remember folks in front of me like, yo, I never heard about Emmett Till, right? And you hope that there can, but here's the other thing as well, too, what I know about Dave Chappelle.
He also has a joke about, and I kicked her in her pussy.
Yes,
which was
that
also
is the joke.
Skillfully.
That was the joke. That's the one he ties together with it. A few things I know about Dave Chappelle. One, he's only coming out to ride for black folk. And
apparently,
and in a weird way too, because even like with the feedback he gets in the train,
black folks,
and
not black women,
and like any black trans person, they would be like, he's not riding for us, which I completely agree with that. But he's riding for, the piece you just said before. This country is more okay with X, Y, and Z, anti-Semitism, which it's not really okay with that. But again, to go down that route with it, anti-Semitism.
The country is less comfortable with anti-gay and anti-Jewish and anti-woman stuff than they are with anti-black male stuff.
You saw that again with when again in Biden came out, I guess it was probably last year, and it was like, hey, we want to condemn, like, there's a rise in like anti-Asian hate.
Right.
And black folk ran on that one as well too.
Yeah,
we
they're
said,
like, why are they talking about
again,
this? And
that's
like,
a conversation. Like, again, and the thing is, like, we can have that conversation, and if you want to have that conversation, so be it. But in the moment, right, if a specific group is under assault, we're gonna focus on that group, right? I don't have any higher expectations from Dave Chappelle. From walking that fucking line,
I mistakenly did.
You did. I
had hope.
You hope.
As a comic, as a comedian, like I was looking at this, and like I believe that comedians are the philosophers.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to put us. I put us in that category.
But that's also too, like when people say, "I believe Twitter's the town square."
No.
I think it's the same.
But what
we give it that meaning.
What we're doing by making jokes about things is we're exposing things. We're thinking about them in different ways, and we are in that same category. All right, as much as we try to remind everybody who listens to the show, this is not the news.
This is not the news. You made a joke the joke you made the other day with your hand over the fire. I just can't get over that one.
This is not the news.
So again,
and your answer to it that you borrowed from Ebony was even better. Like, you know, Jon Stewart used to tell everybody the Daily Show is not the news, right? Glenn Washington tells everybody that Snap Judgment is not the news.
Right.
He is a Michigan guy, though. Go Blue.
Go Blue.
Like
Ukraine.
We are not the news.
No.
But comedy has an opportunity to expose and also to help people along in places where they're not really comfortable going yet.
Right.
They can do it with a joke. There's things that people wish they could say, but they're not comfortable saying. But if it's in the form of a joke, they might be willing to say it.
Right.
But the same thing cuts the other direction.
Hell yeah.
There's all kinds of awful shit that people wouldn't say, but when it's in the form of a joke, they're like, it's just a joke. It's okay. That's the thing where that gate is open.
Right. But again, his whole thing is he feels that his profession is under attack. And again,
bullshit.
Exactly. And that's
bullshit on its face.
And there's my only issue with him. Because again, I've always expected him to walk the line, to go and say offensive shit. Like, that is what, like, again.
That's what comedy's about.
That's what it's about. Where I get on is like, yo, don't come out here and say it's making my job harder. Netflix ain't you're good. You're all right.
Yeah.
And again, in this country, everybody can say what the hell they want.
We're good with that.
What you can't get upset about is if someone else is like, hey, yo, I don't like that.
Yeah.
They're able to say that too.
Right.
It can
That's
go
the
ahead and
same
say the
amendment.
shit. Like, the same way I'm not going to get on you for saying you can say it. But if someone decides to come back at it and be like, yo, I find that offensive, especially if it's the group that you're going at, if they find it offensive, even if I found this shit funny, I'd be like, hey, yo, what do you find it offensive? Like, look.
So, like, let me give you this really good example. Years ago, I had a friend who, like, anything he said or anything anybody said, I'd be like, your mama. Right? That was, this is like the late 90s or whatever.
Yeah, when your mama was at the highest.
Your mama.
Highest is the high level of your mama.
And he was like, hey, that's not cool. My mom is really important to me. I don't like that you say that. And you know what I said? You know what? I just won't say that to you anymore.
I don't need to say it that bad.
It's not that important. I didn't like tell him he should be okay with that. I didn't tell him that that's wrong, that he's offended by that. I was just like, hey, all right, cool. I just won't make that joke with you. If other people are okay with it, like, that's fine. But, like, I'm able to change what I say to who, when. Like, I'm a adult person. That's not the end of the world. Friendly note to anybody who says anything to anybody ever. If somebody goes, hey, man, that's offensive to me, say, sorry, I won't say that anymore. Do not, under any circumstances, explain to the offended person why they shouldn't be offended.
Yeah, it's big Karen behavior.
It's really fucked up,
like high-level Karen behavior. That is where that is like, well, you should be all right with that.
Yeah, just get over it. That was so long ago.
Jesus Christ.
No, that.
Yeah.
We're still saying his name to be like, oh, Jesus Christ, I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's real.
That was 2,000 years ago, Christians. Get the fuck over it. You're all going to Rome now to pray. They were the ones that did it. You should just get over it. Are you not over? They're not over it? Are you serious? They're not over it? It's been 2,000 years.
Elaborate street magician.
I mean, it's been 150 years for black folks. You should be over that by now.
Exactly, right?
2,000 years for that carpenter. Just get over
He's a
it.
magician, man.
Nope.
Look, anyway, let me not go down that road. I don't want to. Again,
Dave,
I love.
you fucked up.
I don't. But see, I don't look at it. Because I don't think there's an obligation for him to do it.
No, it's not an obligation, but there was an opportunity.
It was an opportunity there, and the thing is that, and also too, I don't think he's
feel
ever.
like he owes us that.
I don't think he's given that to NBC either as well too. He's never going to give that to because then it goes into one of
That's
those
fair.
things. It always is going to go into those things too about his platform of where he's going to control the shit. And he even for him controlling it, he might go more offensive. Who knows?
No,
Who
but
knows where he was?
he better have called up all of the Jewish comics that he knows and has worked with and love him and are best friends with him for all of these years and said, listen, I'm going to say this thing on SNL.
His shit was specific to us black folk. He was, and it was, and he devoided all of, he did not,
He hurt the cause.
He just said, no, but he just said, it's like, look, like a lot of those jokes, like the one is like, I usually jump out there and I'm right there by Kanye. And he did that. And like, like again, he wanted where he was running up the line with was specifically talking to black folk on that one. He had the most that the Jewish community was getting was the joke on the speech at the front on there about him. And again, I understand. I don't understand. Well, not in this specific case here, but if I was the folks in this case being persecuted as well as aggrieved, because they coming for y'all. Just being honest.
They got torches and
It's just
shit.
what I'm just saying.
They
still
literally got torches.
Y'all ain't safe. Again, y'all think they running the world. They was. If
we were running the
doing
world.
the shit a little bit better, we might be treating folks around the world a little bit better. And keep
key tenet of Judaism is tikkun olam. Let's repair the earth. It's not doing well.
It's not
Sorry about that.
So again, with this, if I was Jewish, I would have looked like that and been like, "Damn, Dave."
That's literally what I looked at him. I was like,
and that's how I could at least, if
and
I
as
was
a
in
DC kid too. Like I'm looking at him. He's not just Dave the comedian.
No, he's
like my kids. I only point out two things to my kids. If we're watching a video of Dire Straits, Mark Knopfler's playing guitar, he's amazing, and I'll remind them, hey, he's Jewish like us, and they go, he's Jewish like us. They feel that identity.
Right. It's important.
The only other thing that I ever point out is, he's from DC like us. So they know when they see Taraji on TV, they go, she's from DC like us. Because that's how they think. Those are the only two things I ever point out to them.
Identity.
And here, yes.
Yeah.
Here's somebody who I identify with in so many ways.
We've some of the specials, even like last year, we never talked about on air, but again,
there's so many reasons that I want Dave to be the guy. And he didn't swing and miss. He went off and played volleyball.
He said he didn't touch it with fun. He touched it on it, but he did. He said he didn't go for anything enlightening at all on that. He went for, hey, we about to run this shit as close as we can on. But also too,
I'm disappointed.
But I think even as well too, Saturday Night Live probably wants that. Like it gets.
I don't know if they do.
I heard there was a lot of people who were protesting him to go, like not like in like a heavy protest, but some folks were like they weren't with him showing up at it, which I can get. But again, Saturday NBC ain't fucking around with that. Like, look, come on, that's network TV. We're gonna run these dollars up. And
SNL is SNL.
Yeah. But
this is a 50-year institution.
But again, SNL isn't what it was 10 years ago. It wasn't what it was 15 years ago.
In every generation, people deride SNL as not being as good as it used to be.
I'm not saying it's not, but is it appointment television all the time, or is it when we have certain individuals who are on there? I think they brought them back twice in certain situations after elections. And even that to me is like putting him on a pedestal. Like when you bring him on then. It's like, all right, come on, come down from the hill, Dave, to come talk to us about what's going on in American society.
He himself up in that situation, though, because he's out there in Ohio and he's like, look, I live with these Trump people and I understand what they are.
Yeah, look,
and he talks about them and he does understand them.
He understands them better than a lot of us.
And yeah, so he was that bridge. He is that bridge. He is what J.D. Vance wishes he was.
That's wow. That is
except that Dave doesn't have to deal with being a fake senator.
Right.
So like.
Also, too, just around, like, this is his whole, like, I can't move on this Dave tangent, but I can also imagine the kind of the fuck you spirit he has in him after leaving.
How is he supposed to call Jon Stewart? What's the next conversation he has with John?
I think the comics, though, on that point are going to be like, yo, I feel like John, I don't know what Jon Stewart
What's he going to say to Bill
Jon
Maher?
Stewart's going to say, I think they're going to be like, they're going to be like, yo, fuck you. You didn't come in. He's like, I didn't. And they're going to, again, those group of entertainers, I don't know if there's much wavering in between them on their craft of like that.
I get it. Like in my world, if something is mechanically funny, even if it's offensive, I give it to you. That's funny. It's funny.
And it can be both.
There are jokes that are offensive and funny.
Yes.
I tell lots of them. Okay? I mean, it just ran this whole thing on Madison Cawthorn, who could not follow me down that path.
Yes, exactly.
Okay? It's a bit rocky. But I get that.
Yes.
On the other hand, like, at some point, these are people.
Yes, and again, my biggest issue with him is he gets frustrated and upset, and like people are trying to silence him when anybody gives him criticism.
Not silence.
He can't be silenced.
Can't be silenced.
He's eclipsed. Like after he left and came back, it's over with. He's uncancelable. Like they say, canceling people. I don't believe in that anyway.
Uncancelable.
You can't do that with him. It's over with that stuff. Anyways,
all right, let's move on.
I hope we can have the bigger discussions that we need
Truth
to
and
be having.
Reconciliation Commission.
Yeah, like hey, I always one day we're gonna. I told you one day we're gonna have that conversation. We're gonna bring in prominent members from the Jewish community, prominent members from the black community. You represent. Careful now.
I'm not a good example. I had a bacon cheeseburger for lunch.
Oh God.
So, Truth and Reconciliation, it's a big deal in South Africa.
Yeah.
Speaking of South Africans, Elon. All right, so Elon is fucking up Twitter left and right.
It's done.
But here's like some real
shit,
This
though.
is a real thing that happened, is that when Elon let anybody get a blue check mark and didn't think how this could possibly be a problem.
What could be an issue?
Somebody grabbed a blue check mark and impersonated the pharmaceutical giant Eli Lilly.
Yep.
And started fucking around.
Insulin's free.
Yep. They said insulin is free, and the markets literally tanked stock on Eli Lilly, like as if this was real, because it might be real. And there was no way to know. And so the investors were like, well, I'm selling.
That's insane.
Got to get out of here. Also, side
That's
note, insulin should be free.
Yeah, it
Keeps
should be
people
free.
alive.
Yeah, and what it costs, the cost of it is not that expensive.
Nothing.
Costs nothing to make.
The aftermath of the $8 spoof offers a potentially costly lesson for Elon, who has long treated Twitter as a playground for bawdy jokes and trolls, and now must find ways to operate now that he spent $44 billion on it.
And the creditors are coming. No one wants to hold that debt.
Not only did this hurt Eli Lilly's stock, but then they pulled all their ads off of Twitter. And it's not clear exactly how much money that was worth because nobody's disclosing that, but it's not small potatoes. And Twitter is not a profitable company.
Never has been.
No. So Elon spent
he overpaid for it.
$44 billion to buy a hole in the ground. For what?
Is it a free market if something can do that?
Well, yeah, it's a free market, but that's why
the
we
influence
can't have those kind of free markets.
Yeah, but it's like because
Adam Smith never talked about a market like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's not the concept of the free market.
But and I guess this is why you can't. There's so many things. There's a content moderation side of this.
Case, Wendy's would be out here impersonating McDonald's, talking about they got rat shit in their quarter pounders like all day long.
Right.
I mean, I would do that tomorrow.
That's the sway is really insane.
What's stopping Lockheed from talking about Boeing makes airplanes that crash? I mean, like,
or any world leader.
Oh,
Christ. We're still calling his name.
Some people might be holding on to Trump-related Twitter handles that could be relevant in the near future.
For who?
I'm not saying we're doing that. I'm saying we're not doing that.
$8.
All right.
Mastodon.
Speaking of $8, crypto.
Yo, this FTX story is the craziest story.
All right.
It is the one.
So let me explain something about this. The whole thing about, like, let's say we wanted to talk about stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I bought stock in ChipChat.
Yep.
It seems like it's growing, and it's growing because other people also want to buy my shares.
They see value in they see value in ChipChat,
and stuff. And I don't realize any value in the stock until I sell it.
Yeah,
it's not actually worth the stock price unless somebody buys it from me.
It's this trust.
Yeah,
it's a trust thing.
It's a supposed value.
Supposed value. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if crypto was like any other asset, it would be the same deal. It's not worth anything until you sell it.
Right.
But the crypto idiots sell this as if it is also a currency. As if you could buy things in your Bitcoin, in your Dogecoin, in your whatever, without also then having to translate it into dollars. The fact of the matter is, none of this stuff is worth anything until you sell it for dollars, which means that it is not money. It is speculation. It's a Beanie Baby.
Funny money.
It's a Beanie Baby.
Yeah. Which there was a time you could have made a lot of money on them. I told my mama we missed the boat on that one.
My mom's got plastic boxes chock full.
Columbia Mall. I never forget they had a list. Some of those Beanie Babies was going for like $250.
Yeah.
It was insane.
So to be clear, if you're somebody who plays the crypto markets where you paid dollars for fake money and then sold your fake money to
there's some hotline you need to call, don't do it. That's all I'm going to say. Just don't do it.
And then got your money out in real dollars, you've done a great job.
Yeah. Good
job. Don't touch that shit again. The stove is hot. If you're somebody who believes that this is real money,
Super Bowl, if you saw it on the Super Bowl ad,
and you can use it to buy things
like a pizza,
you're a fucking moron. To be clear, the blockchain is a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
There is a reason to have a blockchain.
Yeah.
Secure transactions make sense.
Somewhere down the line, this is going to...
Somewhere down the line. The idea that the dollar that you spend, you should be able to track it through every spend it ever moves around makes sense.
Yeah.
Computing power is getting close to that. And so if you're quote-unquote mining crypto, what you're doing is facilitating the constant
destruction of
checking,
Earth.
Well, that too, for the energy. But the constant checking of, did this piece of fake currency
to
actually
ledger,
travel the path that we think it did? And what you're hoping to find is an error, and then you get a bonus chunk of this coin or whatever. I want to be really clear. This stuff is not currency. It's not money. You're not buying yen, pounds, or rubles and then hoping to be able to buy stuff with it. What you're doing is buying a thing that you think is an asset and hoping to sell it at a higher value later. It doesn't exist.
You know what makes all those other things money? Regulation.
Yes.
It's what makes it.
That's right.
That's what makes that all.
Fiat currency works because it is accepted and it's regulated.
It's the only way.
Okay. If you bought the Beanie Baby, at the very least, it is worth what you can burn it for fuel.
There you go, right?
But if you bought a Dogecoin and it falls into oblivion because nobody else wants to buy it back from you,
password.
It's useless. Or it gets hacked.
Yeah.
Which may be what happened to FTX.
FTX is a wild... I mean, just to quickly move through this story here. One, they were a huge exchange, a huge crypto exchange.
Yes.
It seems like they were spending a lot of our money on tricking everybody else to give you more money.
What they're doing is collecting commissions from people trading air.
Yeah, in a sense.
I mean, to be very clear, when they talk about all the money lost, it's not actually lost. This stuff didn't have any real value in the first place.
But your dollar did.
The dollars that you paid for
did.
To buy the fake money, you lost that.
And someone else cashed out your dollars.
Yes, and somebody else has your dollars.
More fucking Bitcoin.
But they don't have extra fake money.
They don't have. They have real money now.
But the fake money is gone. And if you're like, oh, I've lost $1 billion worth of fake money that I paid $6 for, you lost $6. The other stuff it never existed. It didn't have any real value. It was only based on what you thought somebody would pay for it. If they're not going to pay for it now, then it's just fucking, all right, you're out $6.
I found it kind of crazy, and obviously this dude, Bankman-Fried, which is such a great name, Bankman.
We're not going to talk about it.
I know, right? Sorry. But, not for that reason, just want the bank piece. But the reason why this is wild is that Binance came in at first and was gonna, because they were like, yo, we need to save the environment, in a sense, in this case the crypto environment. We'll buy these motherfuckers out. They looked into this shit and was like, whoa,
this is insolvent.
Y'all are not, this is wild, we cannot do this. They pulled the deal out. They filed for bankruptcy. But then on Twitter, the lawless place, I seen like this random tweet go out. It was like some reporter was like, yo, we're tracking a lot of money that's exiting out of FTX on these supposedly locked accounts. And it seemed to be that they said that they were hacked. And I'm putting hacked in heavy quotation marks. Someone else said, we about to get paid on this shit some way or another.
All the way around, this whole thing is fleecing people who have not enough.
And who don't have the money to lose.
Yeah, and don't have the sophistication to understand what's really going on here. Anytime you see crypto, think Beanie Baby.
Yeah.
Think baseball card. Think stamp collection.
Yeah.
This stuff is not a real asset. It does not have any intrinsic value. Okay? If you're buying gold, at the very least, it is worth its weight in conductive property. Gold is useful in the production of microcircuits and things like that. And
humans still find it shiny, and
yeah, but
they like
the shiny aspect is worthless.
They'll still take it.
But the thing in terms of computing and conductivity, it's got some value. Like, there is no intrinsic value in this fake currency. And you're foolish if you think that you can spend it to buy things. Go buy a Coke with your Bitcoin. The minute you can do that, now we're talking. But if you have to talk about your crypto assets in terms of their dollar values, they are not worth anything.
You're hustling backwards.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why, remember that there was a commercial where a guy, he had a dead-end job, and then he had the crypto, it went up. And I quit my job. Then it went down, and he's back and
then
trying to
you're
get
like,
down.
you need a tax person who can
handle all that. My issue here, this is about tax issues, because the fact is, like, this company only lasted about less than 3 years, and one of the things that surprised me was, based off the pictures here, is how much they were exposing themselves. They
took over America. They beat out Pornhub or Bang Bros. They beat out Bang Bros for the stadium name, which Bang Bros might be in play now.
And the thing is, with the Miami Arena,
intrinsic value.
Yeah,
it's never going out of business.
Porn,
it's never going out of business.
Yes, and with the Miami Arena, they just put that name a month ago.
Yeah,
and they have to take it down. And then there was this.
The refs are the worst because you're supposed to trust the refs.
Yes,
I mean the umpires.
And then you have this esports company, top-notch esports group, and they have to drop them as a sponsor. So the way I see it is like you overspend. You pretty much, faked it to make it, in a sense. And that's what crypto, I think you best describe it is you're faking to making it. And I think that
it's not real money.
It's not real.
But this is what happens when you run zero interest rates for so long and people are able to get free money.
It's not just about this is people inventing something out of thin air that they assigned a value to so that they could trade it around and steal from people who are less sophisticated.
Yes,
than them.
but I feel like the only way, and eventually as somebody, you have to get capital to start a lot of these things. And capital was cheap for a long time. That's how you're able to screw the lower person on there. Whenever capital is super cheap, people are going to find ways and create new ways to spend money. You're always going to find new ways to spend money.
Right, but the problem is that there's no backing to this.
No.
There's nothing there.
No.
And there never has been, and there never will be. And people need to stop talking about it as the future of something. No, the blockchain has
that piece of it, yes.
Yes. You want to know where things are and shipping and all that stuff? Like, the blockchain has its uses, for sure. And it's energy intensive, and that's a whole other problem. But, like, this is not money. You can't keep calling it money. It's why NFTs are gone. They came and went in an instant.
But when people have a belief in it, that's how you get folks with it. And
But
when
it's
you
a
use
fleece.
all and that
It's all-
lawsuit
it's
that's
all
going
grift.
around, that is a super grift. And that lawsuit that's going around with all the celebrities, ding their asses up.
Yeah.
Because that shit is a little sinister. And back when this was happening, you couldn't even come out against this shit. You're just hating, you just want people to not be able to invest in things other than the stock market, and you want to. And I'm like, look, friends, I want y'all to be able to, but like, I like my shit. FDIC.
Invest in commodities.
Yeah,
invest
at least.
in lumber and
Lumber.
something real that people buy and sell. You're literally
If it's
making up
if
a
it
coin.
seems too good to be true, it is.
Oh, this thing is worth like 3
Yes.
tenths of a
Yeah.
cent.
All right, this is there. Fake money. Moving on.
All right, moving on to fake presidents.
Quickly.
That guy who thought he was president before, turns out he's in trouble.
Straight narcissism.
Yes.
Obviously.
Former President Donald Trump mischaracterized White House documents he retained after leaving office as, quote, personal, the Justice Department argued in a newly unsealed court filing accusing Trump of engaging in a shell game to shield documents from criminal investigators.
course.
In the filing unsealed Monday by U.S. District Court, Alien Cannon, the one who gave him his special master, by the way, that he appointed, prosecutors contended Trump has sought to restrict investigators' access to materials seized by the FBI in August from his house by inappropriately claiming that there is personal property. Federal law permits presidents to declare some documents as personal so long as they have no decision-making value. Not nuclear codes, by the way.
Yeah, that's not it.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it just continues. Also, we learned this week that there was some reporting that he was just selecting what documents to take based on his ego.
Yeah,
And he was
but
like,
it's
"Yeah,
so
this
it's
makes me
obviously
feel good."
yeah, of course.
Well, we've talked about it before. How did he know what to take? Guy's clueless about how government works or what's valuable or how anything goes. Like Pompeo was having to help. It had to have been Pompeo. I'm 100% sure it's Pompeo.
Who might be Alex Jones?
Nah, he lost too much weight.
That's true. The weight is off.
Eating left this ass,
Yeah, it's
makes you
high in fat.
Yeah. It's all,
And
it's all the sugar. All right. On that note, Trump's going to jail.
yeah.
I think that's fairly clear. All right.
We're
We're
going to
gonna
be pardoned by
we're
Ron
right.
DeSantis.
Yeah. We're gonna take a quick break.
Yes.
We're gonna play some music from our guest.
Yeah.
When we come back, our guest will be here.
Yeah,
An hour past when we promised him he would be here.
Yeah, sorry.
Because we're bad at radio.
Yeah, this is the worst. This is one of the worst ones we've ever done.
I'm blaming.
That's that hop slam that he had prior to
No,
this.
I'm blaming.
You should have started at 9. We should have started this shit
I'm
at...
blaming Trump and the 420 guys
Okay.
because they missed a meeting.
That's fine. Well,
Yeah.
of course they did. The 420 guys.
Yeah, that's right.
And
All
it's
right.
Trump. He doesn't care about meetings.
You know,
All right, here we go. You're tuned in to Chip Chat on the Rip Radio Network. Sweeps.
Chip Chat here on Rip Radio Network. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's popping, yeah?
And who was that we were just listening to?
That we were listening to our guest tonight.
Who's our guest?
All right, our guest tonight, I would say, is a through line for hip hop in this area. He's been asked to bless multiple projects with his sheer mastery of the piano, and I would say he's taken a few albums from merely good to great. But while he's adept at collaboration, our guest is focused lately, I would say, on self. In 2018, he dropped "For You, For Me Too," and as I hear and as I should know, at the top of 2023, we are getting another album, "The Loop Evolves."
Are you on that record?
I believe I am on that record, right? And you might find him like on the Kennedy Center stage, or at a jam session on U Street, or the Strathmore, or Killing It at Blues Alley. I would say it's someone I'm fortunate not only to work with, but also to call a brother. He is Glizzy McGuire, Cloud City Bird Gang, the Filipino piano primo. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my brother Drew Kidd.
Appreciate y'all.
Welcome.
Thank you, Tez. Cousin word.
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Like primo.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for having me, man.
Of course.
This
Yeah, look,
this
man.
is beautiful.
Sorry it took so long to get you.
Yeah, we're sorry about that. I don't know if you've ever listened to the show, but it's awful. You should
it's pretty
definitely
No.
not be on it.
No. This is we are very much in alignment. And as I joked on the break, I think I brought Filipino time in with me. So it was like there's a shift.
Yeah, I don't know
There's a
about
shift.
that.
I don't know which one it is.
Also, we just got straight off of Filipino American History Month, so maybe that's like carrying over.
So
And-
Filipino American History Month sounds like a confusing word or sentence.
Fair. But it's a very real thing. Speaking, I mean,
stealing all the nurses
for
and all
me
that stuff.
specifically, actually having Navajo blood, so I can actually call myself a Filipino
You're
American.
both. Yeah, you're
Bang bang.
yes.
Yeah, more red, white,
Neither
blue than a lot of
us are
motherfuckers.
really American.
Definitely not
I
me.
mean, you're a little bit.
Not me.
Yeah.
Just
Me, so maybe.
I'm a real American.
No, not at all.
My people snuck over here.
Oh God,
That's true.
Yes, yeah. We
We're sneaking under the white people, but like, okay. What? Fugitives and
yes. So, all right. Well, I'm excited to have you here. I guess I will kind of conduct this. You'll jump
this is
in.
your real interview.
Right.
This is your
I
first
never get to
interview.
do
You're
this. So
a half into this.
it's
You
an-
finally got a guest,
and
I booked
he
him.
booked the guest, right? Even though he's my friend.
It's your friend.
Because I seen the energy on. You know what I mean? I've been seeing
we're just a word
the
wild
chip
group.
chat.
Let's just start it. We'll start off like real, just like how most of these interviews start off. Yeah. How you get introduced into like music and specifically playing the piano?
Great question.
Just starting there. I don't know that.
My mother, who had limited opportunities in the Philippines, when she immigrated to America in 1977 as one of the first Filipino nurses to work at Howard University Hospital, wanted her children to have the opportunity to play music. She didn't have that. And at 6 years old in 1997, that was when I was 6 years old.
You're gonna hurt his feelings right there.
That's all gravy. You know what I'm saying? Like we no, it's
Lots
all
of hate.
Okay.
He's upset. It's
No,
okay.
no. Don't take it that way. No.
I'm getting.
No, he's just seeing his own mortality. That's,
yeah,
okay. That's what it is. It's all right. It just flashed before his eyes. Anyway.
Like
2
most,
weeks
like
away,
most,
I'm gonna turn
children of immigrants, your parents want you to have, things to flourish in, but dare you have a career, in it. There's a whole,
really-
right.
You must play piano,
They
also
want this plethora of and things to dabble in, to whatever. But no shade to
Right, of course not,
moms,
no.
and a Filipino lady down the road from my house taught me piano, and
That's
now
dope.
You learned reading music and playing
theory
all-
and everything.
and all
Yeah,
that theory.
25 years I celebrated this year.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Christ.
I
Yeah.
took piano lessons for like, I don't know, 10 years or 12 years, a long time. I promptly forgot how to read music, jettisoned it entirely. But I kept the theory because it's really important in like blues and rock and roll. And I stopped playing for years. And then before we had kids, my wife was like, you got to get a piano so you can teach our kids to play piano. And I was like, I don't know how to tell you this, but I don't actually know how to play anymore. And I never really knew how to play. I just knew how to like complete the assignments for the recitals. And she's like, no, you can play. And I was like, I can't. So I got a piano. It's a Yamaha, like digital piano, not a real piano, but it's weighted keys. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I got it, and I was like, let me just look up chords, like, tab on guitars and stuff. And I got my Melbay chord chart and my keys, and I'm like, all right, I think I can remember this. And for like the first time ever, I could play and sing at the same time. I could never do that all the years I was taking lessons. I was garbage at it. So now I can play like, rock and roll and blues piano and sing along and all that stuff. My cousins, on the other hand, can sight read Mozart. So, like, I'm fucked. How are you with Beethoven?
Two different disciplines. I mean, like, classical music.
Can you sight read music?
Yeah, I can.
Of course.
Depending on the difficulty of it, I mean, classical music I kind of put down right before high school, but now I find myself teaching some of it to my current students because this was kind of like the first year I really like embraced like teaching, even though like
all musicians are teachers.
Yeah.
Even if you don't mean
just
to
by
be.
action, just by demonstrating,
That's
just
right.
by you know what I mean. But like as I was talking to a friend earlier today about like even just the essence of like if you are a flute player, are you a flute player without music in front of you to tell you what to do? Do you still make music?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Can you still make music?
Yes.
Fair.
So,
if you can.
Like,
you know?
I jettisoned, like, reading music, like I said, and I picked up my harmonica at 16, and
Right.
after years of playing along, I finally got to where I could play what I felt. That's a big leap.
Oh yeah.
To play your feelings.
And music, that's what isn't music. That
It is, but you
Right,
got to have
to be able-
proficiency to do
Yeah,
it. Right? It's the
right.
same way with language.
Because written music is someone else's feelings.
It's right. But like and
Without
the same-
your interpretation.
The same thing is language, right? Like you have words, but until you have enough words, you can't really say what you feel. Your vocabulary
Right.
is required. That's why you should never be friends with an MC because every time you talk to them, they make you feel stupid.
You got a big vocabulary though. You dropped apoplectic earlier.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
caught that, and I was like,
Shout out to Arlington County Public
"Man,
Schools.
this is out here."
But don't be friends with MCs because every time they text you shit, you feel stupid because they have a lot more words than the rest of us.
you gotta bust back with the bars though.
Yeah, well, I have to look them up first.
what I mean?
So anyway, like once you have proficiency with your instruments, you can play your feelings. When did you start to be able to play your feelings?
Well, the aspiration of it was first hearing Ray Charles, and that's what broke me out of
Yes.
those lessons because then
Because he doesn't play sight
that's
music.
that's the blues, right?
He
that's,
can't play sight music. What? Okay, but he
cheap joke. Anyways.
No, but the blues is a real thing.
Right. And like because and funny enough, as we've been talking about the written music, sheet music, at the time I think like a lot of me coming out of that early education was like going on musicnotes.com to download the preview. And literally I would download like hundreds and hundreds of like the first page of a song where in
That's all you need.
some context, yeah, you might be able to just learn the whole song.
Right, because it might be the same thing.
If
over
I
and
if
over.
I download the first page of I Ain't Mad at You by Tupac, I can figure out that
That's
chord
pretty much
progression
the same
because that's
thing
the
over and
beat.
over. Right.
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 Like and thankfully I had that. So when it came to like
what
hard
I'd say is the same thing. It's a dan.
so for the one for me was Hard Times, and that's a very like kind of like foreshadowing song for like my life too. If you know that song, it's a blues song.
It is.
in the most essence of a blues song.
145. It could not be more 145.
My mother told me before she passed
Right.
away, said, "Son, when I'm gone now, don't forget to pray because there'll be hard times." Right.
It's Muddy Waters.
All-
every bit of it.
and so number one at the time. I mean, I guess that had to have been. I mean, I was like 13, 14. So I asked my mom to buy the chart on musicnotes.com. I bring the chart to my teacher and she looks at it and she's like, "This is hard. You want to play this?" And I'm like, yeah, Mozart is hard. Beethoven is hard.
Right. This is 1-4-5 blues.
But I think what's the funny like discrepancy there was like they try to notate Ray Charles's like time feel, which
or
you
the
can't.
grace notes and all the little fills.
They're
and all
trying
that
to
stuff.
they're trying to
Don't
like
bother with
mathematically quantize that, and you can't do that. That's like that's life.
Just give me the
that's
chords.
life coming
just
through.
Give me the chords and I'll do the fills on my own.
And so that was like the journey of like kind of casting that down. And even through high school, I didn't really have like a one-on-one teacher. I had like band directors, and they were, but my teachers was recordings. And so when it came time to go like apply for a school, like I didn't even know like, how to go about, that navigation that all high school kids have. Okay, now what's next? So I had researched who my teacher would be at the school that I was going to, but I think it was just like, I just think about sometimes like if I had a time machine to go back and tell myself what to do.
Well, okay. And you jump right into my question here, and this is later. I was going to get later, but since you're here now,
time is a construct.
If you could tell the 15-year-old Drew Kid something now, what would it be? Because that is what it is.
For music or life?
Both.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about music first. So it would have been like, get a teacher, but just learn how to play everything you like. And then go out.
That's a super critical thing.
And then just go out and find people who like to do the same thing.
Because I remember like when I walked into piano and I was like, I want to play boogie woogie. And she was like, well, you got to learn chords and stuff first. And I was like, all right. I mean, I understand that that's like a thing, but I want to play boogie woogie. And she was like, this is Beethoven and, like. Well,
if they frankly couldn't do it, then they weren't going to be the person to teach you that.
I'm sure she could have done it, but like, for years I tried to learn the stuff that they wanted me to play.
Yeah, which kind of puts a barrier instead of, and as I kind of learned from teaching now, like even with like a 6-year-old or an 8-year-old, like, this is the first year I've taught like children too, where like, and I learned this from Herbie Hancock, like you don't have to dumb down anything.
No,
like give them the goal, give them the attainable goal.
Changed everything.
Show that it's possible.
Yes.
So they can, you know what I mean? Instead of like, no, let me put you over here. Like,
if you show somebody what the chord is, and then all the notes that are in the chord, and all the available stuff you can do with either
like we're functional as humans, we can figure that out.
And it's it's what you want to do, so you're more motivated to do it.
You're
Number
not
one,
just motivated to do it,
number one,
but you start to feel it
because the way you connect to the music is because you like that music, right? I didn't have a connection to classical music or an appreciation that I had early on.
I feel nothing for
Ray Charles cut through to me through all of that, and I was like, bam, I want to do that.
Like that kind of stuff. Like when you hear it, all of a sudden you want to do it. Jerry Lee Lewis. Like
for me, that was bang. Wow, we're in alignment because right as you said that, I was about to say James P. Johnson was the person that like my teacher was literally warming up with Carolina Shout in a lesson. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I took a whole summer to learn Carolina Shout. And that's a song that like Duke Ellington had to learn. Like, that was a song that you had to learn to call yourself a piano player. Like
that's the bar.
That was a cutting contest song.
And now it's like Take the A Train because of that.
I mean, well, there's a plethora of repertoire that constitutes whatever.
Thing that like
Stride is Harlem in the 20s. Most kind of like misconstrued with ragtime. Ragtime is St. Louis,
much older, and Scott Joplin and all that stuff.
And is actually played slower.
Yes,
like big misconception there. People want to do that fast because it's fun and it's very involved.
No,
but stride piano is actually like, in my opinion, like the hardest piano you can play on planet Earth because it's taking
the chord.
It's taking like classical and gospel like chops to do it, but kind of like turning it up to over 9,000.
It's It's arpeggiating a chord over 2 octaves with one hand.
Those
While-
were those.
while
They,
running
also,
a
they were
melody on
literal
the other.
giants who played that music. Like
Because you have
people
to.
could reach like a tenth,
14th,
for any
and yeah, it's
for any
nuts.
non like musical folk. The distance of a tenth is from C to E, but not the E closest to C. E the next one over. So you need to reach 10 keys
I've
in
got an
between
easy
your
ninth,
hand.
like without a lot of trouble.
Even my teacher had to roll that. Like, we're getting real like piano intensive here.
Go ahead.
Right, I was saying,
Let's get
I'm
some
gonna bring
hip-hop
it back.
Right, thank you.
So right in there, because I know
Bring me in, 'cause I will-
I'm gonna let y'all nerd out a little bit. And
I
there's a
will,
little
you know what I
piano
mean?
time, and a little piano
Little
time on
keys
there.
time. All right.
You're on a lot of folks. Like I say, you're a through line of like again hip hop in this area because you've been on a lot of folks' projects.
People that didn't even know I was
Was
that
on it,
joint.
yeah. You were on it, right?
I'll come up to them and I'll be like, and they be like, "Oh yeah."
How did that like talk us through that? How you end up on these projects, the networking between that, the connections, like the web that you end up creating by being as talented as you are. Like it almost feels like there's like a Drew Kid like hotline and it's always blinging. Like that's what that's what it
You are
it's like
not
dominoes.
lying, bro.
It
Because
feels
like,
from the far, looking at from just not knowing, but looking from afar.
yo, I mean, that's a very much a blessing, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was just like the spirit leading because like, I mean, flashback to 2009, yo. Like, okay, first year in college, but I wasn't even like on campus, like, because the place where I went to was not. It was like a commuter school. It was.
I got
like,
married in 2000.
Hey,
Up, old
fire!
man. It's okay.
Fire.
All right.
Hey,
Be quiet, old man.
like relish in your like, you know what I mean,
Elder
regalia.
statesmanness.
You know, I ain't saying that.
I've said that. That's okay.
I ain't say,
I
like
said it.
people want to get to where you at. You know what I mean? Like,
So you're tripping.
no, don't
Yes,
even
you're
do
a
that.
lot. Yeah, that's-
don't even do
you're
that.
tripping, yes.
Don't even do
Continue
that.
on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But 4 nights out of a school week, I would be on U Street.
Right. That's
Not
yeah.
even caring if I had a ride back.
yeah.
Like sheer like the
Just hoping
spirit is
somebody would
calling
hand you a
me
set of
here.
keys and say, play.
I mean, no. Like,
You just wanna be around the
not
elders.
even
Listen.
playing.
You just want to be in the element.
Going to shows
Just to hear it.
and meeting these people I considered heroes.
Sure.
Like the Kev Browns, the YUs, the Slimcast 78s, the Odysseys, you know what I mean? I discovered everyone's music off of MySpace, number one.
Number one, yeah. That's how we
Coming
all
out
did
of
it. Yeah, that's
like
exactly- yeah, that was
coming
it.
out of middle school into high school.
Yeah.
That's the turn of that's like before Dilla died. Jay Dilla recipe. You know what I mean?
So
Like
what are you doing? Talking about like 03, 04? 5?
right 0405.
04, 05, okay.
Because that was like the dawn of like MySpace popping and you could download everybody's
Yes.
music
on there.
Yeah,
and it
Napster
was
was
just,
already dead.
I must have downloaded like 3,000 songs from MySpace
Kaza.
alone.
Your hard
like
drive was popping, baby.
yo,
Your hard drive.
and so like
LimeWire.
literally just like for like 2-3 years, 09 through 2011 was like this crucial time of my life of just literally like that's why I met you. That's why
Yeah.
I met of just like being out and then I was making beats and
And
like
we was all kind of, I think all of us in that age range and in that group was just kind of like out there. Like
it was a great time.
Yeah,
It was
a really good time.
it was internet, but it wasn't internet like
outside.
yes,
It was both of those, yeah.
I don't want to like put too much weight on
phone
the we
internet.
outside like
Yeah,
let's
right,
say- but like it was like
There
it
was
wasn't ruled by the internet. It wasn't internet engrossed. It was like the internet informed
It
you
was a
enough
utility, yeah.
to go and like be in people's face.
yes.
And like literally like even if I felt like maybe like that was what was kind of funny about the Drew Kid name early because it was like I was just the youngest person in the room all the time, whether it was the jazz club. I'm going to see Gil Scott Heron at Blues Alley with my girlfriend at the time. Her father put me on to Gil Scott Heron and we seeing him do the fucking bottle.
That's,
I mean,
yes.
come on.
That got my
That
hair
song,
going.
speaking of Dave Chappelle, like that song was recorded in Silver Spring.
Right.
I
Oh,
champion
yeah.
that everywhere I go because like
Yes.
like Dave Chappelle talks about his exit is my exit, the Mormon temple exit.
Yeah.
You know what I
Disneyland.
mean? Georgia Ave, my part of Georgia Ave.
Yes, Disneyland.
Going further down,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yes.
see you,
Surrender Dorothy.
Yeah.
bro. Disney World, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah, exactly. so right.
Did you ever play at Twins?
Oh, I was there. We were with Thad Wilson Jazz Orchestra was basically the Twins Jazz Orchestra every other Thursday in like 2016, like latter
a couple of shows
2015.
with Twins, like the highlight of my life.
And just because you've played on a lot of folks' stuff, and this kind of falls in line with that, what does recognition mean to you, and is it important?
Ooh, good question.
I say yes for the right reasons.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Depends who's
Because that's
recognizing
okay.
you.
So you mentioned Cloud City, so we're gonna make it through line. You know what I mean? So
I have that somewhere here too.
yeah, right. Thank you.
I have that in here.
Because
Tell me about Glizzy McGuire and Cloud City
yeah,
Birthday.
you making it a little hot on the GPT side because you exposing the Batman identity. But anyway, it's not that big. It's not that serious.
No
Anyway,
one listens to this shit. It's all right. It's okay.
we out here.
It's
You know
all
what I
right.
mean? I
It's
sent
all-
this link to mad people. You
It's
know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, people might
the
listen to
chip
it
chat
today.
movement
Finally.
is turning up.
All right, there it
You
is.
know what I mean? I'm
it's like
invested. I was gonna
Alice's
say this.
restaurant.
I was saying I'm invested in the what we gonna call it, the CCCU. The Chip Chat Cinematic Universe.
Okay, I like
you know
it.
what
Going
I
to see
mean?
Black Panther on
We
Sunday.
gotta no spoilers. Anyway,
I'm not saying I haven't
right.
seen it.
Right.
I know better.
So, but recognition as far as like for me, like in 2019 at the end, I put my whole discography on my website. And that was kind of like a fun little like homework assignment for myself in a retrospective of seeing like, damn, like
you did a lot of
since
shit.
09.
Yeah,
Since
and
09.
It's on a lot.
It's like bang, bang, bang. Like just like people don't even know I was on the
like
joint.
Grease
Like,
just put out 30 years worth of stuff on receipts, and you've got more records than he has.
well,
Yes.
That's
yes.
true. I'm
Probably,
not making that up.
well, I mean, of my own is a different
You
story
want to come
because
hang out in a couple of weeks? He's going to be here if you want to bring
hey,
your keys.
I'm part of the CCCU now.
Yeah,
That's
of
true.
course.
You know what I'm saying?
Please come through.
Like,
turntables, whatever you got.
Sorry.
but
Yeah. So
But like, you know, I mean, because I know from the musician standpoint of like, and being on joints, when I had to write, like I was uncredited on a joint or, you know, and it took a long time until I learned about business and learned about publishing and royalties and what those things mean and being a writer or a publisher on a composition and, especially like when you get into like making your own music, but then you collaborate with other people and you
Yeah.
want to have them have their just due too. You don't want
Right.
to
Just
like
get-
you don't want to dick them the way the music industry dicked you or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's a whole like tradition since the beginning. Of,
Shout out to
everything.
Jay Yoko, by the way. She helps artists.
Oh
learn
yes,
how to
great
get,
guest on
you know,
here. Yes,
Which is so like that should be in music school. That's not like that
why-
should be
Well,
like
she's
from
pushing
jump.
for that
like,
to be like
but
that
again,
should
we
be at
know-
Berkeley.
You know what I mean?
If you go to
No
Berkeley
one-
School of Music, you should learn how to get published.
yeah.
Right.
We would think that, but that's
Not
the
just
same
cello.
reason. But that's the same reason why like entrepreneurship class was an elective for me, and like you have to choose.
yeah,
'cause they
that's
don't-
rigged. That's the system.
choose
That's
home
you know
ec.
what
You
I
have
mean.
to choose these things to like,
Yeah.
like you have to like, oh,
Like
you're
me-
interested
me-
in it?
me wanting
you
to-
gotta survive.
Yeah.
Here's home ec. It's an elective.
Yeah, like being able to teach kids in high school taxes and you know what I mean. Like
A business plan was
Oh my
the best thing I
God.
ever learned in high school, and that was
Oh
a
my
class was an
God.
elective.
I don't know how to tell you this.
You
but
know.
we don't have a business plan.
that's so
plan
many
is
people.
This.
That's so many people. Like, but saying that a different type of way. You know what I mean? Like, but like it.
How many
It's-
records are you on?
I don't know.
It's insane. No,
I don't know.
It's a
No, we
it's a-
tried counting.
I don't know. I mean, because even the stuff on the website isn't everything.
at all. I was
How
gonna
many
say.
is on the official discography of your?
It's
whole thing?
probably like over 30.
That's a lot of records.
It's a lot.
you know,
and that's
like-
what you're like. What you're
That
saying,
And, like,
can-
things
you
that
can
are releasable, things that are
verify
out.
and
Yeah.
you can claim a
I put
copyright
a
or
link to
whatever.
all of them on the website,
Right.
and like and even that person's site, you can go learn about that artist.
We
And that, it's
counted it
very
all up. It's a lot.
very intensive, and like you know, even being the sample on a joint, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's levels. It's you know, but I think you know a lot of this week I've been talking about like what validation is, and like a great friend of mine, Jabari Exum, as you mentioned, Black Panther, he was the movement coach and the drum instructor about
Power
for it's deep U Street roots there. I was at a really low point in 2021, and Jabari was my roommate in 2020. And he had come back to get some of his stuff because he had moved to Baltimore. And in that time, he saw me, and I just kept like outpouring about like other people and things that I was looking for other than like having a foundation with myself. And he just simply said, and he didn't even remember saying it to me. He was just like, you know, the beauty comes from within, brother. And he just pieced out. You know what I mean? Like total, like, jeez. And that was everything, bro. Because and I didn't even get it right there because I didn't feel it
in the moment. You're never gonna.
And then when I came into a better place of health, like this year, like thankfully, you know what I mean, like.
Congratulations on that.
It's thank you. It's like no understatement of the journey that's been. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we had just 2 weeks ago we had a guest talking about mental health.
Yeah, and I appreciate y'all for that because I saw that and I was like that's why I kind of like.
Shout out to everybody who has mental health like issues.
Yeah,
you know,
I've been
in therapy my entire life.
Which is everyone.
If you're not in therapy, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, this is a wild. It's waking up every day is very difficult.
I'll say this because like
crazy world.
If you own a car, you have a mechanic.
I'll say this, bro.
If you own a brain, you should have a therapist.
This is kind of why I just like walked in with a rain stick, other than kind of like being a Filipino and being Native American. But it's a rain stick, right? Let's like,
hey, love this.
Oh, ASMR. What is it? ASMR.
Yes, ASMR.
Right. It's a multi-level show
There you go.
here at the CCCU. You know what I mean?
But anyway, I love it.
But
that's the bad bell.
There you go.
But in all seriousness, you know, because I appreciate y'all giving me a place to speak here, because like this is something that I just see so much with like. But like,
no, he was available.
I should have walked in burning sage. Just like walked around chipping tails. Anyway, but literally coming off Kevin. Of like the last 2 years, which has been the equalizer of everyone has had this universal experience, whether you were in denial about it or not, whether you believed in what was happening or not.
We all lived it.
Oh no, white people died at a more. Almost twice the rate of everybody else.
I just want to get at this is that like we are all in a place of a need of great healing.
Yeah, no shit.
Great healing, massive
and
healing.
Not just like everybody needs a burger and a beer. Like we all
no, bro.
No. What we need is to like hug each other and like watch some fireworks and shit. Because
even if you were good through that, like, you know, bless you if you had no. When I say good, I'm saying like if you had some type of like at least like family security or like some type of support or whatever.
If you're not doing that,
all of that, I was not good through.
But I'm saying this is what I'm getting at is because you number one, we weren't good. No. But two, like, you know, everyone had their, like, kind of, like, introspective going into, like, reevaluation, da-da-da-da-da. And just that enough could have been, like, some type of, like, I don't want to say just traumatic awakening, but it's like people had to look at themselves in a way they never had to before.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that might have been, like, scarring in some places because you know what I mean.
Looking
like
inwards is probably the most difficult.
It's the
thing
hardest.
You can do.
It's scary. It's like nobody's ever
Especially
really ready
if you don't
for
have any
it.
help for it.
The stigma about mental illness and mental health and therapy is because we simply just don't fucking talk about it.
Right.
Like, just literally, like, I'll tell somebody I'm going to therapy, and they'll be like, all right, bro, like, do what you need to do. That's good.
Because they're afraid of dealing with whatever.
But like it's like I'm going to be in a straitjacket or whatever and shit. Like, and no shade to people who have had to live that life, because I've lived a life very close to that. Like, I was in a psychiatric unit for 15 days in 2021. June 1st to June 15th. It was the tip of the iceberg of the darkest part of my life, which was literally the top of 2021 up to June.
I like that you said the top, because I also think of years in that way.
Right.
That's interesting.
Right. And it's why, like, you know, to give a through line here, a loop, if you will, that like, because it's symbolic for me to put this music out at the top of to have a better return, a better like reminder, you know, like creating like a new holiday in your mind for yourself. I make a joke about December 1st being Filipino time New Year, He's like, we start the year 1 month early just to get, you know, give yourself some
I
leeway.
feel like somehow all three of us are like in groups that are notoriously late.
Humankind, bro, is just like,
I don't know.
it's just
GPT,
lagging.
CPT,
There's
PPT.
there's latency. There's latency because we just like and man, like I'll say this because like the mental health conversation is so important to me. I'm a big advocate because, you know, I've lived it, you know, like I don't want to speak for anybody else. Like I have lived like so much. Sometimes like outside of like being a parent, I feel like I've literally experienced like every human emotion you could ever like have other than like being a parent.
Well,
right.
Don't rush.
Hey, and no shade. Like I salute
time.
because that's
Don't
a goal.
rush.
That's a
You
goal
don't
for
need to
me.
add any, just
But I, you know,
whatever you want to do it. But good God, don't
like
rush.
I just, you know,
Burn
I'm
the
gonna
candle
stay.
at
I'm gonna
17
stay.
ends at once.
I'm gonna stay outside the club for a second. Like I'm not letting it
absolutely.
ring off in the club.
Okay,
real
that's
quick. You know what I'm
fine,
saying?
baby. Don't be shy.
But anyway, anyway.
More power to you, bro.
But like.
Well, he actually is better than the ones outside Gallery Place.
No, that's right.
He's
Yeah.
a full on. Like,
Right.
He's like a Mark Stoudemire.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Sorry,
No, he could be. I mean, he's late for everything.
but I would say
How do you feel about matzah?
I'm not familiar.
That's all right.
You like crackers?
We dislike white people.
Not those kind of
You mean like that. Wait, so
No,
wait.
I was going.
There's
for
a lot
the
of levels
shine.
going
I
on.
was going for the shine joke when
No,
he
that's
went
a
to
good-
Israel and he
Oh.
went full on.
I just
You went
Looped
past
it all the way
I thought you
around.
said the name like it was a soccer player or some shit. Like, I'm sorry. I'm so lost.
matzah.
Right.
You know, like
Matzah.
the cardboard
The
flavored
best number
crackers
9 we've ever seen.
that we. He's gonna hate you for that. You know he
lot going
listens.
He does.
Saka loves this show.
Of
This
course.
is Fight Club. You just say a bunch of shit and keep it on
Somehow
ChipChat.
this show is about
It's
DC hip hop music and soccer and
Yeah,
politics.
it's some.
Right.
It's some.
Right.
This is an insane show.
Right.
You should listen
But
to it.
I just want to get this
Yeah,
little bit in about because, you know, as we said earlier, like, you know, the differences between like actually having lived like an era before the internet and then now it being
Right.
an internet engrossed thing. I was talking to YU today, funny enough, of just about like a generation that has just been so stuck like outside of their body, as in looking at something, as in looking to those things for validation and guidance, and not knowing how they
being
feel,
fed it, and being fed it.
bro. And like, you know how many times I hear the words, "I don't know how to feel," like not even about a situation, just stop it there.
That's kind of
Because
a weird,
you don't know how to, you literally feel in your body. You don't have like some visceral reaction of like somebody
You're
did
waiting for a
something and
channel
like
to tell you what to feel.
like even on a small level, like on Twitter or whatever, or like on Instagram, if an artist is like, should I drop this remix? Motherfucker, put out the remix and I'll
Right,
tell you if
or
I like
not.
the shit or not.
Why are you doing that?
Because they're scared
The likes
to even
the endorphins.
but
of this
it's
stuff.
it's scared to even like make a definitive like yes or no.
That's
like,
really hard to do
and,
for a lot
and
of people.
jump in the water, like, you know what I mean? Like I learned from Kokai early on, like as an artist, you got to just know how to interface with somebody that's not going to like your song. As you were talking
that's
about
okay.
jokes earlier, like you put the art out there to even give somebody a chance to not
I
like
tell
it.
the joke, and if they don't like it, then they can, you know, whatever.
There's almost 8 billion people on the earth now.
Not almost,
There are
they're here.
now.
That's what I'm saying. Like
100%.
Twitter Uber facts confirmed.
Yeah, they're here.
Having 50% of that is actually doing pretty good.
But we don't see it like that.
We don't.
But also, and I had a question here is like, really, what's your relationship with social media? Because to the point you even had, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you
I'll
just
tell you,
jumped
I'm
off.
going over there.
Here we go. That's where I have to go on there.
Did we have to?
No, exactly. I want to know. Like, how do you? And we asked this to
I'm gonna be friends
who
with
was
Jefferson now.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
There
there
we
you
go.
go.
Perfect.
You know what I'm saying?
But we asked this to Dan.
I
Why
have
am I
a
blanking
toast
on his
outfit.
name? Why am I blanking
I
on
like
his name?
that.
God, that interview was so good. And I'm blanking on his name. Who came on? Who sings and why am I blanking on his name? God, and we had such a great interview. It was probably about like 4 or 5 ago. We missed him once. He came back.
Oh, Devontae.
Devontae, and I asked him because he had a whole song around social media, and he talked a lot about like in that song, but like yo, fuck how you feel, like a lot of like it was like some pointed things, and I asked him the same question. He was like, he just kind of talked about like, yo, it's kind of poisonous for me, even in a sense.
Right.
And like, I use it obviously for like my music, but he also was kind of speaking to like, nah, I kind of see the ills around it as well too. And I understand that piece. So
that's what's also known as Cloud City.
There it is,
That's
right
Cloud
there.
City.
Cloud City
That's
Burger.
Cloud City.
They
Okay.
can't see that on the
Oh,
camera.
hold on, there it is. There it is.
It's a hat
Okay.
that says Cloud City Burger Gang, spelled KLOUT
In a
SITTY
Yeah.
BURD
Not to be confused.
GYANG.
With Lando Calrissian and the real Cloud City.
Well, you understand the understand the bars there.
he did.
No, I
Yeah.
got it.
You understand? That's what I'm saying.
Like, but no shade to Lando, because he's already in the clouds. He doesn't need any.
It's inspiration.
shade.
So I mean, because and it's funny, like.
But that is the same thing, right? Because he made a deal with the Empire when he didn't want to, but that he needed to survive.
Yes.
Right? And
He had to
sold
stand
out-
next
he
to the
sold
shit,
out Han.
whether or not he knew it was righteous or not,
But
to come up.
He sold out Han to the bounty hunter, even though he knew that's his best friend,
That was
man.
you know what I mean?
And he made
And then
up
he's
for
wearing
it.
his clothes later, like
Yeah, but he made up for it, though. He blew up the Death Star.
yeah, he redeemed himself. He
Yeah,
got out.
he
He
came
got
back
out of
around.
Cloud
Come on,
City.
Lando.
He came out of Cloud
He got
City.
out of Cloud City. Anyway, okay,
Yes.
so because like even people ask me like, why do you have so many accounts? And like in a very like street team way, how else are you gonna get around the algorithm? Because I might post a
point.
flyer, you won't see it until after the event is over 3 days later.
Great point.
So like you got a street poster.
You're not divisive enough, that's
but
why.
also like
need
you know,
Lando.
there's a greater conversation of like the multitudes within us and getting away from yourself and having fun, just not being yourself in the art, like consciously, not like you know, not having no control.
Having the opportunity to create extra characters.
I mean, you know,
That's fun.
Shock-G having, you know, Humpty Hump,
Right.
or MF Doom, on, you know what I'm
Ricky
saying?
Ratchet.
Like, hey,
Hey,
come
we
on.
don't-
I almost like, see, yo, I thought about that on the
When
way
my
here.
kids found out that Humpty died, they were like literally crying. They literally broke out crying. They're like, "Wait a minute, we didn't get to go see him."
Amazing.
And I was like, "Well,
But like, you know,
I can't let you actually listen to
you
any
know,
of his other records."
all the Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Wu-Tang's forever.
and people,
They don't actually die.
for the children. And I've got criticism on this side of this and oh, Drew, you wildin' or Drew, you lunchin', and like imagine how many times I get Drew, you wildin', like on a regular
We've
basis.
talked about
I
this.
mean, you're
oh,
wearing
we-
a sandwich
like-
on your head.
Well,
You
this
might
isn't
be
the one.
lunching.
I almost
This
what
isn't
I got a
even it.
text earlier. Is someone asked me, "Is like, where the hell is the hot dog
Is
soup?"
it- okay.
Someone just texted me
So
that and was like, "Yeah, where?"
see the God. Let's see. There's a whole.
See, there's another alter ego.
like-
Because let's just break this down.
I'm gonna have to come back.
You have to
too.
come back.
Yes.
He
I
has.
thought I was the
Okay, but
crazy
no,
one.
no. You do it right though. Like,
No, you
don't
right,
just
you
like,
do it.
don't just like
I'm
naturally.
sorry.
I think there's an alter ego.
Right. There's many.
There's many alter egos. One, again,
That was the polarizing one
the
that set it
polarizing
off.
one that set it
That
off
set it off.
was him.
Was Glizzy McGuire to
Glizzy
God.
McGuire the God.
I love that.
He
Glizzy
was
McGuire
a
to
full-on-
God.
A full on
With mustard, of course.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
There was mustard. Yes.
The
Obviously.
real ones that you
There
know
was
what I'm
mustard
saying?
on it. But
Like,
again, and I thought it was because I got it immediately. When I saw it, I said,
it's
oh,
very niche, but it's also very specific for
this
people
area.
of the community.
yes.
And I
the
just
whole-
activated a joke that kids from DC and PG County just made up. And like, so the truth of that, like that the God carries is that a glizzy is of a trinity. At any moment,
This is
a glizzy can be three things.
three things.
Right?
It could be a
All right.
sandwich. It could be a taco.
No. Listen, no. Listen,
Those are
no.
both true.
It's at the top, the most the food.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the other side is a firearm.
Yep.
Could
Right?
be.
Deep
Right.
reference there.
Right.
Yeah.
And on the third side, the male gendered
penis.
genitalia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
This word is a very
And
useful
it's
word.
so powerful that like you can literally just show up as this inanimate food object, and people who are not secure or
I wouldn't-
commit
any-
or
anything.
No, watch,
or-
watch people
or,
have a hard time eating a hot dog.
people
why you have a hard
not
time eating a hot dog?
comfortable with their own
You gotta
sexuality.
see it in person. It's one of the crazy. Because when I saw it, I said when I saw it the first time, because he's in full on a glizzy suit, And I remember seeing it, I was like, and when I first saw it, I
With
think I might have
mustard.
seen it with mustard. I saw it online and I was just like, yo, I got it immediately. But then I went out one day with him and he had this suit on. We went
It was
out for a
Duncan's
friend's
birthday. Shout
It
out
was
to Duncan.
Shout out to Dunk. And he had it on. And I just was like, all right, now I just got to be around him. Wherever he's at, because I got to see what the reaction is.
Right.
I got to see how people react to this, whether it's negative or it's positive.
What did Shorty say at the joint?
Yeah, this woman walks by,
I like this.
strokes the glizzy.
Of course she
Of course
does.
she did. Strokes the glizzy and says,
Was this
I
in-
like this.
Was this in
standing around,
Navy
I was
Yard?
in Navy Yard,
Hey.
at Mission, upstairs. And I was like, there it is.
The first time I heard it,
There it is,
the
right
first
there.
time I heard it, a lyric where like the glizzy on my hip, and I was like, "Why is your hot dog on your?"
You did,
That's
we did,
not
we
where-
did. No, but
Yeah,
also,
I was
I
like,
thought you were
but
about to
that's-
sing our song.
No, but I was confused. Like, why?
That's the song I should have sent.
Why is that where your hot dog?
But wearing this as like an alter ego, it made so many other people upset, and I wasn't confused by it because I get why it made them upset. But I was sitting back and was like, damn, yo, like
That's hilarious.
oh, y'all
you should
let
do
me-
that all the time.
If
No,
you're-
he doesn't. He did it all the time.
You gotta tap into the GPT, the Glizzy Pack Takeover. Okay,
It was
so
crazy.
anyway,
it's a whole
it's
movie.
because you want your art to move. Yeah, you don't want to like hurt people, but
He
you
went
want
to the
but to,
go-go
but
with
to
making
cut
them
through
uncomfortable
because
is
you know
good.
as an artist that the worst thing you want is indifference. You don't want to be out there
Yes.
and have like
Sorry, Brian.
straight like you know
You don't want to be the
dead-
Commanders.
like dead. Oh my
Commander
gosh.
fans. They're indifferent.
You don't
They're
want it
apathy.
dead. Like at
Apathetic.
least them not liking it gives you
Something.
information to move different. Like move, just pivot. You know what I mean? But kind of fast forward. Like French Chose Jefferson, who I am currently right now, is the apprentice of Glizzy McGuire to God. Because Glizzy McGuire to God lost a losing battle to the evil forces of homophobia and misogyny.
He lost? No.
Well, we have to avenge him. We have to avenge him.
Because all these people, first of all, these hip hop motherfuckers
So
is
so here
anti-fun.
you go. Here's the legend of Glizzy McGuire to God is that all he wanted to do was spread love of the truth, which was the Trinity, right? The truth of what a glizzy is at any moment.
Right.
So when he was slain by this evil entity, he told his apprentice, 7-year-old at the time, French Chose Jefferson, to carry on the truth.
There's a whole record in that. MF Doom style. For sure.
And it's called The Loop Evolves
There you go. See?
on January 1st.
I want credit.
There it is.
No, but there's also we'll talk
already wrote the record.
we'll talk off the air, but about there's a lot on the way.
All right, our producer has given us the wrap up. So
Yeah, 'cause
this
I
is
have-
your interview, so you have to wrap it up.
All right. Well, because I have 1,000 other questions. I
Skip
want to ask
Alice.
those.
We'll be
Right.
back.
Crazy.
We'll be
Yeah,
back.
exactly. Well,
Like,
once the album
can I
comes
be
out-
like a recurring
once
character?
that- yeah, I mean,
Can
yeah.
I be a Kramer no N-word? You know what I'm saying?
Please. As long as,
Yeah, I mean-
yes, of course you can. The no N-word part is the most important part. You can
Heavy on the no N-word on
yeah,
this.
exactly. Right. Yeah, so I guess to wrap this up, really, we know that the album is coming out January 1st, 2023. I would assume drewkid.bandcamp.com is where you can find this.
And the streaming
And the
things
streaming the game everywhere
Yeah,
on that.
drewkid.com. Yeah.
I don't think we got these
Oh, wow.
socials up here,
Beautiful.
but I don't know
Thank
if you
you.
on no fucking socials right now.
Well, I'm just not on Instagram because it's just like too hot. But like, you gotta give people like time to miss you, or just not just like
To see, not
Just
to
there's
see
so
you.
much noise in the world. Like,
There's a lot of noise.
I appreciate silence a lot. Like, just as much as like just to be a little, not like soapboxy, but just like, the more we put out in the world, just like understanding like what you want. Art has to end. So you go away from it and process it. That's why that small microaggression of like 2 YouTube ads at the end of a video is enough to make you go fucking crazy. Because you didn't even let that song finish before capitalism threw some shit down your throat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like
I'm
I
from
fight that every day.
I'm
Like,
from the
You
YouTube
need to
before
grow a beard.
ads.
When it was your
when it was people sharing
content,
videos.
YouTube, like your
Don't
shit
worry,
from
we got
your
a
digital
federated
camera.
universe that's out here right now. We got Mastodon. There's a one that's for YouTube. There's one that's for Instagram. I forgot, it's like Pick
You're
You
gonna
or
have
some
to
shit
teach
like
me
that.
how this works.
I'm gonna figure this out. Like again, friends, we
Teach
can
me
get
how
it.
to masty. Teach me how to
Teach
masty.
us.
Real quick, that song that you first heard was called "Backyard." The Universe Smiles at You, and it's a tribute to Backyard Band.
Yeah, the greatest
You
man.
know, it takes the clave of Backyard Band and the musicians on there. Real quick, I want to highlight Victor Provost on the steel pan, Sweet Corey Bay on the bass, Nam on the drums, and myself on the little keyboard. And that was like the first like centerpiece of the record. And so like I think that was the first time like that's been heard in
There
the
we go.
world.
And we've debuted it
I
on.
appreciate you.
On
On
Chip
ChipChat.
Chat here. All right, so you hear the music, which means we've come to the end of the show. Damn the next 10 pages.
You damn that when you drank that hop slam before the
Not
show.
my fault.
It is your fault.
I just want to note that I was discriminated against for my
Yeah, it's
my
not real
social lubricant of choice. It wasn't supposed to be a choice
It
of
says
beer. It was just supposed to be he said drink of choice in the email.
See, you got
And even I beckoned with a question. I said, "Y'all rocks with these?" I didn't
I was like,
you know.
sure, I'll get you that. Whatever you want. All right, FIFA sucks. They're hiding all the beer in Qatar
Not that one.
because they're really sad about that. They want all the beer. Well, they want everybody to buy the beer. They just don't want anybody to see it. It turns out that Donnie stole all the stuff based on what he thought was fun for him, I guess.
Oh, what, Simple
cares?
Simon S. Land.
There are people in North Carolina who don't understand what color barbecue should be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
know more than anybody.
You would think, but they called the cops because their pulled pork was pink, which was the color it was supposed
Isn't
to
it
be.
slow? Anyway, sorry.
It had a smoke ring, and they were very mad about that. So they're banned from all ChipChat barbecues.
How you
from
fuck
now
up your
until
own
literally
culture?
Forever. I don't even know.
It's a bad
North
time, bro.
Carolina.
It's bad.
Nobody can handle them. Let's see. There was a kid who threw eggs at your king,
I don't have a king friend.
King Charles.
No, look.
You know what the English did to
Yeah,
him?
Patrick.
They give him a sentence
That's
of
only from Stranger
don't
Things?
have any more eggs
like
except if you're going to cook them, and don't go near the king. That was it. That was,
And he's a pad thrower too.
Yeah, he
completely
missed.
He missed them.
Well, it's all that cricket, you know.
Yeah.
They don't know how to throw.
It's like homie threw
we
the
kick off
shoes
football,
at
we don't
George
throw.
W.
That's
Bush.
right. In baseball, you learn how to throw. All right, and nice girl from Israel decided to put Kanye on her crotch for attacking the Jewish people. That was pretty nice.
The way you worded
I thought
that
you said it was like a tattoo or something.
No. The headline is crotchier.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it rhymes.
Or like she had like shaved the shape of him into her like
Nah,
No, that would be crazy.
Hair.
No.
anyway,
no.
whatever.
All right, finally, last
how we
thing. Here we
wrap
go.
Oh.
Your last clue, and please answer quickly. Here it is. A morning walk around the lake with a pastry treat in hand, and late night screams of passion through the city in preparation for a wild time. Where are we?
Cities.
Lakes and cities. I'm just gonna go with
Chicago. It's got a great big lake, and there's a city there.
Is there a lake in Paris?
No, it's a river.
Paris.
All right. And Drew?
He's guessing.
Cloud City.
Cloud
City.
City.
Okay. Chip, please rip and find out.
Careful with the fire.
I know. People are very flammable.
It's gonna be.
Oh, you fucking serious?
I almost think I know without even seeing it.
Colorado. Oh, watch out for the hot vex.
Yeah, well, all the
Watch
way-
yourself,
Hot
friend.
vex.
The hot vex. That's the.
Fuck this noise.
Oh, Columbus. Oh, with the Ohio State. Oh no.
Thank you for watching Chip Chat here on Rip Radio
The
Network.
only lake they have is currently on fire.
City Virgin kids.
Oh my god. Burn it to the ground. All right, thanks to Drew Kid for coming on and dropping
Thank you.
by and bringing those tracks and all that stuff.
We'll be back.
Thanks to our radio partners, Ticketmaster, Twitter, KCRW Santa Monica.
Biden better take down Ticketmaster.
Yeah, I know, right? all of those guys. Thanks to NOTN for keeping us on. Maybe we don't know. Thanks to our home on the interwebs, CoPlayMedia.com, and thanks as always to our family here at Rip Radio for making us sound as smooth as this network's transition, which I literally wrote before that actually happened. More on that later. Where can everybody get you on the socials?
Fuck the socials. Fuck Vladimir Putin and free Brittany Griner.
There you go.
Live in real life.
All right, and you can find the show and me on Twitter at ChipChatRR, and you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at RipChipChat, and you can find us, of course, most Thursday nights, except not next Thursday night because it's Thanksgiving. Here on Rip Radio Network. I'm Chip. That says that's your kid. That's Brian. You've been listening to ChipChat on Rip Radio Network.
You're listening to Chip Chat on Rip Radio Network.